Holy crap. Crypto markets have been shaken. Stocks selling off again. I don't know what you're thinking. I'm tired, boss. Make it stop. Not yet. Nope. More pain for us. Crazy to see that stock markets got back near all-time highs. Some of the indexes did. Bitcoin not even close. Ethereum even farther still. New definitions of pain and suffering are being experienced by cryptocurrency holders in 2024. After a fun and exciting early start, it's been nothing but pain and suffering. Oh, anyway, it's crazy. I saw this meme today. We're going to be talking about all this stuff, of course, what's going on in stock markets, what's going on in crypto markets. We've got some altcoin news. Stick around to the second half. Your questions answered then. Let me know, of course, down in the comment section as well. How are you feeling about the markets today? Just another shakeout, beginning of the end. Just September. It's just September, guys. Harrison posted this one. Men only think about one thing. What men think about. Everyone's counting on me. I need to make more money. I need to do better. I'm so tired. I have to make it. Just got to keep going. I can't give up. This is literally me. Half the days of the week, I swear. I swear, man. I feel like that's a message that always resonates with a lot of people, man. Holy cow. Anyway, U.S. stock markets have lost over $1 trillion. Such a big amount of money, which sounds very, very dramatic. And it is $1 trillion, a lot of money to a lot of people. Heck, Nvidia alone sold off by $280 billion today. We'll have more on that in a second. And all sounds very dramatic, but you have to realize it's only down 2% at the low of today and finished the day only down 1.7%. You'd think the sky is falling and it was the end of the world based on current sentiment on social media. Of course, crypto markets always get hit harder. Classic. Maybe it's just September. What's going on in here, Kramer? It's September, Jerry. Hey, we've been beating the drum here for a while. Septembers tend to be volatile months. Now, first week of August is usually the worst week of the year. August usually pretty rubbish. Everybody's just chilling out on the Amalfi Coast. I mean, how many people can the Amalfi Coast accommodate? Gosh darn it. Get back to work, everybody. Buy the damn coins, all right? Come on. September is usually pretty rough too. I don't know. People getting back to work. Tan's got to wear off before they start buying crypto coins again, I guess. Japanese markets opening 4% down today. Not fantastic. Crypto following right along. It's interesting. Bitcoin was holding up relatively well until we saw the Nikkei open. That, of course, brings in new fears. Oh my gosh, we're going to see the carry trade unwind even more, even though if you can trust the banks, even though the tiniest bit, a lot of the big banking institutions said a lot of the carry trade unwind has already been unwound. So maybe there's not that much more damage left to come from that. So we'll see. Obviously, Bank of Japan is still a major holder of U.S. debt. So I think we'll need to see the Fed obviously step in there, open up those lines of communication. They've already opened up those lines of communication with the Bank of China, right? One of the other big holders of U.S. debt. Last thing anybody needs is for a bunch of U.S. debt to get dumped on the markets. That wouldn't be good for anybody. Here's the S&P 500. Again, only down 1.7% today. It's not that crazy dramatic, but fear is rife in the market. This messed a lot of people up psychologically. Moves like this immediately send panic waves through the market. Let's have a look at the Nikkei, see how it's going right now. I know what you're thinking. Gosh darn it, do we really have to talk about frickin' what do you call it? Here we go. Look at that. Back down, retesting the 200-day EMA. Interesting. Anyway. Curious. Frustrating part is the heavy uncorrelation to the upside, but the strong correlation to the downside for crypto markets. Why? Well, there's a lot of reasons why things have been exciting people today. by the way, Cap. I grew up in the States, but I'm a Kiwi now. I've lived in New Zealand for the vast majority of my life. My dad still lives in upstate New York, though, about an hour south of Buffalo. Anyway, U.S. Department of Justice subpoenas Nvidia. Nvidia's in big trouble, guys. Probably means really, really bad things are coming. Now, that, of course, sent markets scattering in the U.S., as well as some bad economic data, which I'll share in just a second. Nvidia, of course, being one of the biggest stocks in the S&P 500, when it loses $270 billion in an hour or whatever, markets tend to react. Now, why is the Department of Justice subpoenaing Nvidia? What's it actually mean? Is this the end of Nvidia? Nvidia is going to go down. It's going to zero. It's all over. No, look, it's an antitrust allegation. So basically that Nvidia has been using anti-competitive practices, allegedly, stuff like, telling people, well, you got to use our microchips or, whatever, or else basically, or we'll, I don't know, pull our tech or whatever kind of stuff. Even if that's true, wouldn't blow my mind. Even if that's true, what's that result in? Pittsburgh, what's up? Used to go down there all the time when I was a kid. We had a market garden growing up, and I lived at the time. My dad lives in upstate New York. My mom and we lived halfway between Erie town and Pittsburgh in Mercer County. So we had a market garden. And so every summer it'd be, out there harvesting the market garden, taking it down to fancy restaurants in Pittsburgh, giving them fresh basil and stuff, and selling them fresh basil and stuff. It's interesting experience as a young child. Anyway, the whole Nvidia thing, even if they do get found guilty of some antitrust violations, well, what's Nvidia going to do? Pay a few $100 million, maybe a couple $1 billion fine, and then move on. And that's it. Oh, Nvidia doesn't have the cash to carry to pay down a multi-billion-dollar fine. Of course they do. Of course they do. It's not that big of a deal at the end of the day. It's not going to be the end of Nvidia. But markets have not liked it, obviously. James Lavish here pointing out the market is reacting negatively this morning to extremely poor ISM manufacturing data, which could even be, to be honest, more important than the Nvidia stuff. The Nvidia stuff, yeah, not fantastic. But the big things that are going to be driving the market between here and the Fed rate cuts, and certainly post-Fed rate cuts, are going to be things like the manufacturing rate, the unemployment rate, stuff like this, okay? So there's a lot of worry around these kind of things. TLDR, as James puts here, demand has fallen. Inventories have rose due to unsold stock, and prices also rose due to labor and shipping costs. This is the definition of stagflation, the Fed's worst nightmare. Amy here popping in and saying, is it though? Powell didn't see the stag or the inflation and plans to cut. Stealth inflation is their dream, not their nightmare. James saying a recession plus inflation means that he has failed on both the Fed mandates of stable pricing and maximum employment. We should not conflate the goals of the Fed with the goals of the Treasury. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Hello to all the West New York folks. What's up? From the Syracuse area. I want to go up to Syracuse. I've never made it up there. My brother lives in Buffalo. I always wanted to get up to Syracuse. Why'd you move to New Zealand, Lark? Not to get too off topic here with all of our, economic doom and gloom stuff, but basically two things. One, my mom met a Kiwi guy. That's one. Two, 9/11 happened, which spurred her to hop on a plane and fly halfway across the world to meet up in real life with the guy she had met on an internet dating website, and that was kind of it. It's crazy times. Christopher here pointing out there's nothing to dislike about the NASDAQ, S&P 500, and Dow Jones Industrial Average daily charts at this time. All three have rallied above the previous wave B extremes, locking in the declines as three waves indicating new all-time highs likely to come. The Dow's already printed a new all-time high. The S&P has nearly done so. Tech is lagging, the NDX, but as mentioned, is broken out above wave B. So, guys, at the end of the day, so far, it's just a small correction in the stock markets. It's the economic data that's worrying people, and to an extent, Nvidia selling off that's got the markets a bit spooked. Seth here with a very interesting chart. What are the odds that the top is in for stocks? 7 of the first 8 months have finished positive in 2024. This has only happened 12 times since 1954, and only one time did the S&P 500 finish down for the rest of the year, and that was in 1987. 92% positivity rate for the rest of the year. I mean, a 92% chance that the S&P 500 is going to finish higher this year. Of course, still the 8% chance that we don't, right? That the economic data is going to keep being too bad. Manufacturing is going to keep going down. Unemployment rate is going to spike. People are going to lose their minds. Market's going to lose their minds, and everything's going to go to hell in a handbasket very, very quickly. Still a possibility. That's what's freaking markets out. The fear is definitely there. The fear is definitely there right now, okay? And that continues to weigh heavy on markets. Adam says the top is in for TradFi and many layoffs in the USA. I'm selling everything. Tony says, I remember 87 and this year feels like 87. No, Tony, no. Look, guys, you got to keep it real. You got to keep it real. At the end of the day, nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody can tell you exactly what's going to happen. That's why you have to manage risk in markets. That's why we have to try to play the game smartly, have cash on the sidelines in case things do go worse than expected, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Crypto's not going anywhere. The prices over the next few quarters, who knows? I remain optimistic for Q4. September can be a pretty bad month, and then October, November, December can be pretty exciting months. January, February, March, maybe we get a market top in March, as we've discussed before, or that could all be wrong. We're just going to go to Goblin Town. And Goblin Town's not a great place. Not the biggest fan of Goblin Town. Been there a few times. Don't recommend. Ryan here saying the S&P 500 higher 9 of the past 10 months, September and October, tend to be weak in election years. This doesn't mean the world will fall apart. Just be aware the calendar over the next 8 weeks isn't doing us any favors in terms of seasonality. Okay. Hey, real quick, guys, if you're a cryptocurrency trader, what a great place to be trading crypto. Not available to US and UK people, unfortunately. Anyway, if you want to get a sweet $500 trading bonus, it's a USDT denominated position for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Pepe, a couple other coins, long or short, whatever you want. You can get that by depositing $100 or more when you use the link down below in the description to get started. Plus, you'll get some sweet raffle tickets to get in for funded trading accounts on an F1 trip and other cool stuff. So check it out. Link down below. Now, September's here. September's here. Adam says, can we skip September? Gosh darn it, I know how you feel. Looking for the coordinates to Goblin Town. It's not a place you want to go, man. I know it sounds cool. I know it sounds cool hanging out with all those goblins, man, but they're a bunch of dicks. Not a fan. Not a fan. Anyway, many such cases of September seasonality is bad. Number must go down. That's what everybody's thinking right now. Do we see this early sell-off in September to finish the month higher post-rate cuts? Maybe. Maybe. The chop is driving everyone crazy right now. It is just, people are trying to leverage up big time on every little move up and down. It's getting people pretty hard right now. And the key of the game at the moment is just to survive. Survive until market conditions give us a solid move one way or the other, right? So a solid breakdown below key areas of price support or a solid breakout above 72K. Crypto September in identity crisis big time. September is bearish. September is bullish because everyone thinks it will be bearish. September is bearish because contrarians said it will be bullish and it became consensus. I love it. That's hilarious. Yes, you are all wrong. Yes, you are all wrong. That's in response to Blunts here saying, seems like crypto Twitter collectively agrees we have topped, but I guess that's a good thing collectively. Crypto Twitter is never right about anything. Perhaps. To believe that the cycle's over after just a 74K top, or telling me we came all this way through all that pain and suffering of 2022 and 2023 just to have a 7% rally beyond the previous all-time high. I don't want to buy it. Look at the price of Bitcoin here. Still trading under all key moving averages, still in a downtrend. Not much to love about the charts at the moment. Got to keep that real, right? Downtrend still in effect. Price of Bitcoin today wicked just a little bit under the previous low here from 15th of August, still above major areas of price support here. So at least we got that going for us in the short term. But we are trading under the 200-day EMA. We're trading under the 50-day EMA, trading under the 100-day EMA, trading under the key areas of price resistance, all that kind of stuff, right? Bull market support band, it's a ways up there. We really need to get back over 62K with some kind of vague conviction at least. So, yeah, we're not there yet. We're not there. We're in markets. Charts are showing bearishness right now. Doesn't mean we can't turn that around relatively quickly, but with us continuing to close daily candles under the 200-day EMA, getting rejected on attempts to break over the 200-day EMA, not great. Key moving averages trending downwards, not great. So there it is. Zahir here sharing. Huge volume day, largest 15-minute period since August 4th, 5th, 340 million open interest on Bitcoin wiped out, 115 million on ETH, and 50 million on Solana. Pretty big wipeout today. Fidelity dumping some Bitcoin. There you go. Fidelity dumping some Bitcoin. MK1 Alexander, this is the vibes we need, man. Bull market hasn't even started yet. Good. Good. Lark, do you speak any German? I do not sprechen the Deutsch. So no. Dated a girl back in Kiev back in the day, and she was like super into German and death metal. The German I could vibe on, the death metal, just part of the reason we broke up, man. Just couldn't vibe on the death metal, man. Wasn't my scene. Wasn't my scene. Anyway, Fidelity selling Bitcoin. Okay, second largest outflow ever from Fidelity. Fidelity investors getting shaken. They're getting shaken, man. BlackRock still holding strong last I looked. One shares one. Got some hopium charts here for you guys. Bitcoin, the current setup, market environment honestly feels very similar to last year. Price dropped for around 6+ months. Now, if you were here in 2023, I know a lot of you guys were. Holy crap, that was boring beyond belief. It was, again, just chop. I guess the difference between 2023 and 2024 is we didn't have any optimism, right? Markets were still just everybody was sad still. Nobody really believed, right? Then we got up to 74K in early 2024 and everybody started believing again. We got the expectation that things are going to be okay. And then, no, says the market. Classic. CryptoCon here sharing a nice bit of hopium chart for us. What do we got here? I've seen many rainbow models and log curves that fail overly optimistic charted curves, but these were successful real time for both Bitcoin tops in 2021. Up to 180K is possible here by the end of next year, along with the most optimistic curve at layer 7. March 2024 is not the final crypto rally. Most people have agreed on that after the launch of ETFs, but now that the price has gone sideways for 6 months, they have become bored and scared. True, bored and scared. If you've been here since the beginning of the cycle, you've held through black swan predictions, many calls for recession never came, and now 2 gruesome sideways periods. You're almost to the fun part, 2025. Interesting where those log curves end up at. Again, the key fib lines, 100K, 150K, and 215K. So we'll see which is going to be right in the end. Joe here sharing Bitcoin at $60,000 today is 4 to 6x less volatile than it was in 2021. Think about that. That's crazy. $60,000 is no longer a blow-off top level dominated by speculators. It's a consolidation zone where long-term mature holders accumulate and hodl cycle after cycle. New floors are set. 60K is the new 20K. All right, I dig that vibe, man. Good morning, says Miad. Financial conditions inverted versus Bitcoin. That sums up my bullish view. All right. That's Chicago Fed National Financial Conditions Index. Blunt saying, still my base case for Bitcoin. Bears are about to get murdered. IMO. Him referring to this here, that at some point we're going to have that decent breakout that finally gets us up. Now, maybe that he's got it launched out here for sometime late September, potentially around the rate cuts. Seeing a breakout finally for that. Let's see. Let us see. This is an interesting one from Macroscope sharing this. Cantor's involvement in Bitcoin hasn't got the attention that it should is probably because the firm hasn't really been a household name in retail land, but it's always been a smart, tough, aggressive shop with top desks in multiple areas, and they're always worth watching. That's in response to this video here. Over the last 5 years, Bitcoin has been an outsider of the TradFi community, and it's only now dipping its toes into global finance. Cantor will help TradFi bring Bitcoin all the way in. TradFi wants new asset classes, and BTC is here to stay. I think that guy, by the way, is talking about joining Trump's cabinet or as an advisor or something if Trump gets elected. Again, very pro-crypto lineup if that plays out. Got a couple altcoin stories here, and then we're going to dive into your questions, okay? FBI warns that North Korea is trying to hack and steal U.S. crypto and Bitcoin ETF funds. North Korea, you get back from our Bitcoin, okay? You let Wall Street have it, damn it. Don't you go screwing with us like that. It's the last thing we need. Coinbase gets hacked. All the BlackRock Bitcoin gets hacked. We go to zero. Zero. Anyway. Meme coins, man. Such a speculative, wild game. Billy, this was like the hot coin, and just you can see the musical chair rotation that goes on in the meme coin game. This was like a super hot coin just a few weeks ago. 6 weeks ago, this thing had a $200 million market cap. It's down to a $14.5 million market cap. Nairo on Ethereum, it got up to like 22 cents or something like that around the listing on Bybit Perps. It's now down to like 2 or 3 cents today, something like that, like down 90% in 2 weeks. The meme coin game, man, highly speculative player versus player games. You know, always a lot of people with very big bags. Do you still have hope for Billy? I have no idea. I've never really looked into Billy. I have no position on it one way or another, and it's nothing against Billy per se as a meme coin. I'm just commenting on the reality of how utterly savage some of these meme coins have become in a very, very short amount of time. Now, look, some of these that do have strong communities, they, even though they have been savaged, are going to bounce back super hard when markets start taking more risks, okay? But I'm not saying it's going to be this one. It could be some of the other ones. I have no idea, but too many meme coins out there, and not enough money to actually support all of them, along with all the fundamental technical alts that are continually having giant unlocks and all that kind of stuff. So the money is just not there in the market right now to absorb all of this stuff or to maintain the caps on some of these things. Real quick, Dash. They still exist. That's news to me. Okay, no, I'm being funny. Throwing some random shade at Dash here. Dash was like a 2017 coin. Some of you guys might not even know what the heck Dash is. That was a hair mouth. That was a 2017 coin. Very popular back then, man. People were buying $1 million master nodes at the height of the market, and like, went down a lot. I haven't heard anybody say anything about Dash for a very long time. Very long time. But popped up in my feed today, so I thought, hey, what the heck? They've launched something called the Evolution Chain, and it's producing blocks. Finally, years of hard work have culminated in this moment. The Evolution Chain is now humming along, executing data contracts, sending files to decentralized storage. This is the first moment of major revitalization for Dash. Now that we have Evolution in place, we have everything else we need to build a modern, full-feature blockchain ecosystem. Soon we can add tokens, smart contracts, and much more. The evolution of money and data begins now. I know what you're thinking. Exactly what we needed was another smart contract platform. 6 years too late, guys. Anyway, jokes aside, hats off to the Dash team. They're still here. They're still building. They're still trying to push it forward. And just, man, there's so many hardworking teams out there in crypto that just slog through the shit for years and years on end, trying to actually build something real. And then you have these meme coins that come out of nowhere with a bunch of just random insiders and cabal behind it. And they just launch this meme coin. It goes to hundreds of millions, not billions of dollars. They cash out for tens to hundreds of millions. It goes to zero, and all the money's gone. Meanwhile, you got Dash out here just fighting the good fight, man. Slowly building stuff. Nerds. Chainlink God here pointing out another day, another blockchain ecosystem joining Chainlink Scale. This time Sonic Labs, aka Phantom. Shout out to my Phantom bags. What up? If you want to see my current cryptocurrency holdings, if you want to see my private sale investments, all stuff, full portfolio disclosures down below in the description and YouTube, pinned comment over on X. Also, you'll find a risk statement there because investing in crypto is risky. Always feels like you feel it more on days like today, doesn't it? You can lose all your money. Don't forget it. Go read that statement. It's real stuff, guys. Avalanche 9000. Let's talk about it. My AVAX bags, by the way, great news. Great news, man. I feel like whenever I get my new tax residency set up and start playing around with my portfolio again, I feel like I want to double down on AVAX. We'll see what the market conditions are like at the time, but I feel like I want to double down on my AVAX. That's going to require selling something else that I'm perhaps lacking a bit of conviction on. But I feel like AVAX has just got everything lining up for being very, very exciting. Anyway, Avalanche 9000, the catalyst that unlocks and expands the world of purpose-built blockchains that all feel like one, giving builders a suite of out-of-the-box tools with complete customization tools. Avalanche 9000 is the largest network upgrade that Avalanche has undergone since the mainnet launch. This upgrade will make launching your own layer one more economically feasible, easier to customize, smoother to maintain, and quicker to bring to market. It's all about scale. Building on-chain has created many opportunities to reimagine how value is created and transferred. Scaling comes with limitations that were congestion, technical constraints, fragmented users and liquidity, et cetera, et cetera. So look, we're not going to go through all the stuff here. I'd encourage you to come read the post, okay? Top AVAX poster. So come read the post if you want to learn more about Avalanche 9000. But hey, great upgrade for them. Builders, man, builders. And AVAX is probably out of the top sort of 10 smart contract platforms. Avalanche is one that's really continuing to deliver. So definitely worth paying attention to. And final comment here, and then we'll dive into your questions. Koi Mama sharing, I've been in this market for 10 years. Currently, we are going through one of the toughest periods. To survive this, you're going to make it big. I feel like it's just been such a challenge psychologically for people recently, with Bitcoin essentially ranging sideways in a big, fat, juicy, nasty ass range, mind you. But essentially, we've just been in between these two big red bars right here for a long time now. Oh, we liked the first part of it when we had the initial price discovery, but basically Bitcoin's been at a sort of average price of around $60,000 approximately. I know we're kind of hanging on the lower end of that right now, which is not looking fantastic, but essentially we've been around the sort of average price of $60,000 since February, which is crazy to think about. Anyway, survive. That's the name of the game until something happens in either direction. Either we go up here or we go down here and it's Goblin Town. Hey, real quick as well, if you are not sent to the newsletter yet, get checked out. It is best damn newsletter in the crypto business. Every single week, my team and I are working hard to provide you guys with value. That's the name of the game. Altcoins, meme coins, DeFi tutorials, the news. We talk about the news, of course, technical analysis charts, and much, much more. You can come in great information like this recent Aave report that we had. So people are talking about Aave a lot. Is it good? Is it still worth it? Come check out the report, find out for yourself. Link down below in the description. Now, let's go ahead and open up the floor for your questions. What do you guys want to talk about? Sofa King. If you're struggling with crypto, you need a hobby. I recommend Warhammer. I saw this chart or whatever poll results recently of things women find the least attractive. Right at the top of that was like Magic the Gathering, stuff like Warhammer, collectible figurine games, whatever. Crypto was like number 3 or something. Like, crypto, come on, man. Come on. Just because we're all out here playing Magic the Gathering, Warhammer, we're not speculating on our crypto coins, man. Doesn't mean we're nerds. Come on. Anyway, besides, one of those things can get you rich as heck, right? And then the game changes. Oh, well, now you're a Bitcoin millionaire. Oh, well, hello there. How you doing? Classic. Warhammer, man. What are some realistic price predictions for AVAX and Aave? I mean, look, when it comes down to it, it really depends on how the cycle is going to go. You see how much fear and pessimism there is right now and the real possibility of a major U.S. economic slowdown. That weighs heavy on markets right now. Okay? So all sort of predictions are off the table until we get at least some more clarity on where the markets could be going, right? That being said, I don't have a price prediction for Aave. AVAX, I feel like $200 this cycle. If we get, Bitcoin to 150K, $200 AVAX suddenly becomes not all that crazy. I think a lot of the majors will benefit from a major break beyond 72K for Bitcoin. You got to think when Bitcoin goes from 72K to 150, very exciting. That's only 100% move, but it's also $1 trillion move. And for AVAX to go from $20 now to $200, that goes from 10 billion to 100 billion, which is a lot, but it's also not that crazy. Pico crazy. If we get, I don't know, just standard four-year market cycle in some possible potential where it's just everything blows over. There's no U.S. recession. Things continue as normal. Fed pumps a bunch of money into the market. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. We get a 4-year cycle for Bitcoin, sell within a month of November 28th, either before or after, depending on when the markets indicate that with Pi cycle top indicator, all the rest of the kind of stuff. Maybe you see AVAX up to $500 or something, but you know, that's the hopium numbers, man. Okay. Don't get wedded to price numbers. Price predictions are fun, but pay attention to market conditions. Okay. Massive greed, massive euphoria on the timeline is basically a warning shot to take money off the table. Oh, I like this. Yes. No worries. Just buy Bitcoin every single day. Stop fretting. Hold until 2034. Don't look back. Done deal. Bitcoin's going to $1 million in the 2030s. Okay. It's true. We often overestimate the short term and underestimate the long term. Right? It's very true. Lark, Injective, they keep burning supply, working very good. Price is still weak. I mean, look, price is weak for a lot of stuff right now, Nick. I don't think we can single AVAX, Injective out necessarily. Injective had a wild run. It went from, what, $1 to $50 or something like that in the last year approximately, or 18 months maybe. It's been an absolutely wild run for Injective. It's currently around probably $20, $18. I haven't looked at the charts. I'm not exactly sure the price, but it's still 20x for anybody who had been in since $1, or maybe if you got in $2, you're up 10x. So not bad, right? The entire market's suffering right now. It's not just an Injective problem. You know, Ethereum is down 50% from its all-time high, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, other smart contract platforms are down even further. Now with Injective, obviously they've got great tech behind them, right? And they're probably one of the big stars of the Cosmos ecosystem at the moment. But definitely you want to see, you know, increasing dApps and users and all that kind of stuff, which that's a tough fight for any layer one like that, because it's a very competitive space. Where do you sell these crazy meme coins when they aren't on any major exchanges? The meme coins, you got to sell them on decentralized exchanges, right? Aerodrome, Jupiter, places like this, right? JA, nice haircut. Hey, thanks, man. My last New Zealand haircut. Do you think it's smart to sell now some altcoin bags and buy back later this month? Look, I can't tell you what to do, man. And that's hard to say, right? If you're happy to just be in cash and to be sidelined and to rebuy higher if you're wrong, then that's something I don't know. Maybe you can say, maybe you don't, right? Sometimes you can just hold too. Depends on what you want to do. There could be certain tax advantages. Like if you've got a position that's underwater currently and you want to sell that and get into a different position, you could potentially write down that loss and stuff like that. There might be something there for you. But, you know, generally a lot of altcoins are just down so bad and they can always go lower. Okay. But a lot of these things are down so bad. I don't know, man. You know, how much lower are they going to go? Famous last words, right? Before a major recession hits and all the altcoins go down another 99 freaking %. Anyway, it's a tough one at this stage, right? If we were talking back at, you know, that rally up to $68,000 and you're thinking, hey, you know, I'm getting paranoid about the markets. I want to take some profits off the table, rebuy lower. Okay, that makes more sense, right? But now that we're at sort of this moment of fear that we're a lot lower, it doesn't make a lot of sense to be selling, right? You know, I had to unload a lot of my altcoin bags back in early August to avoid a liquidation, but had it not been for that, I would have just held through, man. Screw it, you know? Anyway, we're up to Let's try and catch up. We're a few minutes behind in the chat. We're catch up. Typical September. I know, Arthur. I know. I realized gains likely won't touch any of this of us in this stream. And if those are sitting on 25 million plus in capital gains, get off the stream and go enjoy your life. He said. Yep. What's your favorite fragrance? You guys ask the weirdest questions sometimes. Dolce & Gabbana, but yeah. Crespo Crypto says, everyone's screaming left translated cycle, but everything's moving right on schedule. We got that pre-pump due to the ETFs. Everything is right on time. What do you think? I'm still in the camp that we could see that that the 74K was not the top of the cycle, right? Again, maybe horrible recession comes in like tomorrow and everything's wrong and we all just go down to Goblin Town and that's not going to be fun. You have to keep that possibility in mind. There's definitely a lot of cases, a lot of ammunition for making the case for markets are going to get a lot worse, right? And that's what the fear, right? That's sort of most the consensus take right now, which feels contrarian to be actually bullish on markets right now. But I still think we get that nice rally in Q4, rolls into Q1 sometime, and something like March approximately ends up being the market cycle peak, actually. And then, you can kind of see how it would play out. Let's say Trump wins the election. He gets in. You get that sort of Goldilocks period between the election and him getting into office. Maybe you get an initial sort of month or two pump from January and February as people are like, all right, new administration, first 100 days, let's see what goes on, et cetera, et cetera. But then things just keep breaking in the background, right? So markets might keep pumping higher on optimism that something's going to happen. But then the reality sets in. He's just, one dude. He can't fix everything overnight. These are structural problems. They're going to take years to fix. But all those things then set us up for a massive next bull run, but we might get an earlier cycle peak than the standard 4-year cycle. It's a theory I'm working on. We'll see how it plays out, of course. Or all that's wrong. We're going to Goblin Town tomorrow. One or the other. Too early in September. This is a fake out, probably. Barker's just freaking out a bit over the ISM data and the Nvidia thing today because Nvidia has become such a giant beast. How's future Tom Ford Ombre? I'll have to check it out. I'll have to check it out, man. Next time in a duty-free shop. Lark, can you please explain your final comments from last night? We're just going to leave the male stripper story for another day, guys. It's a different story. Anyway. Lark, do you believe there's a chance to not see a bull run at all this cycle? To an extent, we've had a lot of bullish market conditions, but it's been very, very limited to like just certain meme coins and certain coins like Solana, which didn't even reach new all-time high this cycle. Look, there's always a chance, right? Nothing is impossible. The question is, how big of a chance is it that we're not going to see any sort of new cycle highs for Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana and all this stuff? I put that in my opinion, in the not so likely category. I think it's much more likely that we're going to see these big prices coming in. How long we have to wait? How much will our conviction be tested? How much pain and suffering do we have to go through before that happens? I have no idea. Probably a lot more. Satoshi's testing us, man. He's out there. He knows. Oh, boy. All right. Lark, I need to know your take. What's the minimum amount of Bitcoin the average Joe should have going into 2025? Look, it all depends on you, right? Everyone's different. Everyone's got different financial situations. For some people, getting just 0.1 Bitcoin is a really big damn deal. You're never gonna financially, you don't have a good enough job, you don't have enough income, whatever. It's unlikely you're gonna get 1 Bitcoin, at least anywhere in the near future. But the ideal number, if you can get 1 Bitcoin, if you can get just one, it's crazy to think that in a weird way, just 1 Bitcoin I know we like to play the altcoin game, guys. I know we're a bunch of degenerate gamblers out here, and we want to believe in these other use cases and these other exciting things. And there's always this little window where altcoins go absolutely crazy versus Bitcoin. But Bitcoin's probably the easiest 20x in the next, let's say, 10 to 12 years. Because it's probably going to go to $1 million at some point in the 2030s. Maybe it's later in the 2030s. Okay, 15 years. 20x in 15 years. Come on, that's crazy. One Bitcoin today is $50-some thousand, and it's probably going to be worth over $1 million in 10 to 15 years. All you got to do is get one and hold it. That's it. And be patient. Been in a rolling recession for 4 years. It's the roaring 20s. Lark sold already. No, aside from having to deal with my potential liquidation back in early August, been chilling. We'll see. As always, an uncomfortably large amount of the net worth is always riding on the crypto markets. Why is Nvidia trading like old Bitcoin? I know. It's a big dump today. Lark, what's the best show you're watching on Netflix or who? I'm not watching any shows. I could have got rich in college as a stripper. That's what I always thought too, man. That's what I always thought too. It's like, you know who would make good stripper? Stacy. Lark, I'm visiting Wellington in October. Will you rate my portfolio for run into you? I will be in Dubai in October. I'll miss my old windy Wellington. You read out super chats sometimes. Let's see if there's a good one. I do not read out super chats for random meme coins and stuff like that. So sorry, guys. If you have a legitimate question, or if you just want me to, like, you know, throw €2 and like, hey, talk about my meme coin on your stream, that's not what we do. Okay. If you have a legitimate question, sure, great. But I don't give necessarily priority to super chats. You know, I just don't have Rand 1607. I just don't have a good opinion on ICP, man. I don't know enough about it. There's too many coins out there. There's no altcoin you can buy right now. It's guaranteed to be here in 50 years. Bitcoin is guaranteed to outlast all of them. If you had to keep all your wealth, think about this, gun to your head, right? If you had to keep all your wealth in one crypto coin for the next 20 years, what are you really going to choose at the end of the day? Well, you're going to go and choose dog with hat? No, you're not. You're going to choose competitor smart contract platform number 20? No, you're not. You're going to choose Bitcoin. Maybe some people are going to say, you know, I'm going to choose Ethereum. Okay. You know, feels less certain to me as somebody who's got the second biggest position in my portfolio being Ethereum. Feels less certain, but okay, fine. I could vibe with that. But for me, if it was a, you know, gun to my head situation, Bitcoin, not even a question. I got time for people who would say Ethereum to that. Anything else, you're crazy. Okay, one or two more here, guys. We'll finish up. Pew says, Lark, another YouTuber, said that if we even touch 42 on the weekly RSI, it's pretty much all over. It's just okay. Fine. Let's bring a chart up here. Let's bring up a chart. Throw 40. Hold on a second. Let's get ready for you guys. Can have a decent look at it. You know, the trouble with such statements is that sometimes that's true, sometimes that's not true. You know, any indicator, let's say, any chart signal can give you these sort of, you know, false starts sometimes. So like, I'll take your comment off here. I'll put the chart up. Okay, so that's the price of Bitcoin. This orange line here is the 42 line on the weekly RSI. So let's see times when we've touched that, and the market has not been over. So that is if we even touch it. Okay, so let's have a look here. When have we previously had touches on that? So we can see, for example, here now, maybe you can argue that, let's put the linear on there. Maybe you can argue that that first touch here in 2018, June 2018, that was enough, right? Maybe really the loss of it later on in November 2018. Sure, perhaps. Then we move forward to 2019, November. We actually rallied from $7,500 there up to $11,000. And you can't tell me that this somehow magically predicted COVID, right? So in that situation, this really invalidates that theory. I know there's going to be people too who say like, well, the interest rates started getting cut in 2019 and that predicted the COVID recession. No, it didn't. No, it fucking didn't. Okay. COVID was a black swan event. That's the point of black swan events. Oh, where else are we up to here? Any other touches? Oh, here's a great one. Mid 2021. That's another invalidation of that point. I have no idea who said this, by the way. I'm not trying to throw shade on anybody here. We're just looking at the charts as they are. So we actually touched, let's just zoom in. Where we get, okay, so to get to, did it actually technically get to 42 or it just came right above it? Okay, it's, okay, 41. It looks like it either touched or just slightly fell below 42 back here in mid 2021. Now, that saw the price of Bitcoin rally from $29,000 to $69,000. So hardly a hard validation of the theory that a touch of 42 on the weekly RSI is somehow magically going to send us down to Goblin Town. There has been times when that's been true. There's been times when that's been not true. 2019 and 21 are both times when that has not categorically been true. So, take such statements with a grain of salt. Obviously not great if you lose that level, but also not potentially an indicator of the end of the world happening in the immediate term future. Okay, so just, let's try to keep that real there. Okay, continuing. One or two more here. Any large bags? Yes, Ethereum is my second biggest holding. I saw Lark today down at McDonald's. It's my side hustle, man. It's my side hustle. In case the crypto business doesn't work out. Lark, come to Canberra. One of these days, maybe. I'll be a stripper if this crypto thing doesn't make me rich. It's always there for us, guys. It's always there for us. I know what all the ladies out there are thinking. Like, you know what we need? Some dudes in their 30s and 40s with dad bods. That's gonna move the needle. What are we talking about? How can you not have a drink during times like these? That's right. Hydrate, guys. Don't forget. Hydrate. Keep the water going in. Solana is on a good buy price. Should I buy it? I have no idea what you should do with your money. First and foremost. That's what we're not here. That's what we're not here to do. Tell you what to do with your money. It costs under $27. Do you think it'll hit $1,000? I think if the cycle goes, again, similar comments to AVAX, if the cycle ends up going in a way that we hope it's going to go, then $1,000 becomes a possibility. Okay. That we've done a video, Solana price prediction. And I think a lot of that still holds true. So go watch that Solana price prediction video. We made it a few months ago. And I know looking at the current market conditions, it doesn't feel like that kind of video should even exist, right? But the crypto markets have a way, when they start moving, they move super fast and super hard, and they leave a lot of people sidelined. A lot of people get shaken out. Okay. And assuming that we don't have some giant, super mega crazy recession in the very, very near term future, then we still have a nice window potentially for a great crypto rally, right? Again, I want to keep putting that caveat out there because I don't know the future, and there's a lot of moving parts in the macro scene that continue to rattle markets. But there's also a lot of things in the macro scene that continue to paint a picture where we could still have some very nice market action. Where do you fall on that camp, I suppose, is going to determine how you move in the future. Please, God, somebody buy my monkey pictures. Monkey pictures are out, man. Monkey coins are in for the time being, anyway. Solana to 600, not a chance of $1,000. Depends on the rest of the cycle, right? If you think Bitcoin's going to go to 150K, Solana at $1,000 doesn't sound that crazy. John Claude Van Damme, I had to mute you on X today. Too much shit posting. What are you doing on my YouTube feed now? Well, there's an easy solution to that, my dude. Easy solution to that. Just unsubscribe. See you later. Peace. I'm buying a Tau coin a day for the rest of the year. BitTensor, most mimetic crypto during the NAI revolution, potentially. There's certainly a lot of mind share and excitement behind that coin. Monkeypox is in. No monkeypox. We don't need it. Come on. They're not going to run that same playbook on us again. In 50 years, $1 million will get you a used Toyota Camry and a bag of Skittles. Lark base I'm still very bullish on base. Come on. I know it's not yet represented massively the prices, but we are seeing huge adoption metrics for base. I think that's going to continue to happen. So base remains one of the big plays of the future few years for crypto markets. Okay, so I would not be fading that. Okay, we're gonna finish up there for today. You guys are awesome. Thanks. We'll see you next time. Peace.